So when we're talking about the mind, most people are thinking in terms of the word mind, the mind that thinks, the mind that reasons, and others would think about the psychological mind, the mind of memories and desires and repressed content and traumas. And what I was talking about is something more basic than either of those, which are what those are built upon. So we talk about memory. Memory is one of them. All the matters of psychology have to do with memory. They also have to do, when they're talking about conditioning or habits, they're always talking about memory. And if we're talking about the word mind, we're talking about memory also. But it's memory expressed in words where we remember what the words are supposed to be pointing to as experiences. And the other faculties are generally under addressed or under discussed, which are attention and intention. So I find that people are commonly very vague about what intention means. And I remember at the time in my life where intention was also vague to me because no one had developed a way of focusing on intention as something that could be felt and recognized. It's always in terms of actions and results, but not in terms of the basic faculty of intention, which is basically our push to have things be certain ways or to prevent things from being certain ways. It's the drive or push. Intention is the power function.
So when we normally talk about the mind, what do we intend? And your definition is very, let's say, clear. No, you say the four faculties of the mind is intention, attention, memory, and imagination. This is very, defined very clearly. But normally, we don't have these definitions. It is more, mind, be mindful, be blah, blah.
Much more abstract, much more.
We don't really know what
diffuse,
mind is. So I would like to ask you, how come that you came to this definition, or where did you start from? I mean, you probably had also the idea of a mind of being, I don't know what, and that's what I ask you.
Well, how far back do we go?
Very far.
Very far. Okay. When I was about When I was about 19 years old and I entered into college, it was a practice to have people decide on what they wanted to be when they graduated, what work they wanted to do. And I had thought that I wanted to be a psychologist because I wanted to understand the workings of human beings. I was interested in the underpinnings of experience, even back then. As my studies progressed in psychology, one thing I discovered was that the word love was not mentioned once in the textbooks. Not once. It was always about pathology, about malfunction, maladjustment. And so I went a certain distance, but I departed from academic studies of psychology, even though I continued my readings. I read Aldous Huxley's The Doors of Perception, in which he talked about the experience of, well, it was peyote or mescaline, I'm not sure which he talked about, but it was alternate experiences of realities. And then I read Carlos Castaneda's first book, which was The Teachings of Don Juan, a Yaqui way of knowledge. And Yaqui is an Indian name, an indigenous tribal name. And in Castaneda's books, the words attention and intention were mentioned. They were made much of. And only they use the word intent instead of intention. But they talked about three attentions, what they called the first attention, which is the waking state, the second attention, which is the dreaming state. And at that stage of his writings, they didn't talk about the third attention, and they didn't talk about memory either. It was all about the extraordinary experiences he underwent, in effect, to break him free from the fixed view he held of reality. So that's where I got exposed to intention and attention. And then in later years, I took other courses which talked again about attention and intention. Psychology talked about memory. Almost nobody talked about imagination. And then I spent some time in service to a certain artist who lived in Monterey, California, who had a special mission for his work, which was, as he put it, a global or planetary rise of consciousness. And his work was about what he called the creative spiral. And the creative spiral is a series of developments in consciousness that lead to creative activity and creative output. And at one point, he taught what he called the executive creative seminars to businesses to teach people creativity. And he was prolific, this artist. And I assisted him in his work, in the creative work, in various ways. He did photography work, and he did works in sound that he called sculptured sound, all of which were intended to communicate the stages of creativity. So I got my exposure to that. But you see, these are all
stages of creativity.
Stages of creativity. And I'll elaborate more if you like. I just want to say that I had all these different pieces from different teachings, none of which had it all.
And it's all about mind and how the mind functions in our life.
You know, directly or indirectly. You know, Castaneda's people didn't use the word mind. They had other words that address different aspects of the potential experiences we can have.
We have here Dr. Will, and he is a psychologist.
I think he is a psychologist.
Yeah, and if you want to come in, it would be an interesting discussion. Because we are all interested in psychology. And what Lawrence said when he, and me too, studied psychology, and it was all about illness.
Yeah, not about health.
Okay, he's coming in.
Oh,
Great.
wonderful. Great.
Well, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
Even see you a little bit.
I'm actually in my office, so I was just looking around for different discussions, and I saw yours sounds interesting, the 4 faculties of the mind. And I think our friend that was talking, Mr. Lawrence, most of our problems with the education system is how we approach learning. And one issue that I think I caught the end of it only, but I found fascinating is where you were talking about the teaching creativity or teaching imagination, and how there's an issue of debate in so many areas in, psychology, psychiatry, and many other issues. I happen to believe that we have relied too much into the analytical mind, and by doing so, we have pretty much discredited the ability to create, to be creative, and also to be imaginative, which is the holistic approach to learning. So I teach in my lectures. As a matter of fact, I was doing a lecture just a while ago on this topic, on the development of personality and personality disorders, and the balance of the brain, left and right, and the functions that each has. But anyways, I don't want to get into any of that. I happened to come by and saw you, and I just walked into my office, I'm a professor of psychology. Also, I've been a clinical and forensic psychologist for the state of Georgia, and so I've done extensive research in various areas. But it always fascinates me when people come together and discuss issues of the mind. So, regardless whether we agree or disagree, it's not important to me as much as it is to listen to what other people know and learn through life and experiences. But anyways, I don't want to take too much of your time. You go ahead, sir. I'll listen for you, and I think I have just a few more minutes here before I have to go do a lecture.
Okay.
Okay, and maybe we can connect and we can create something together. It would be very interesting. I circled you. I followed you, and if you follow us too, and we can connect, it would be wonderful because we are certainly interested.
Yes.
And if I may ask,
Okay, Lawrence, go ahead.
ask you, where do you get the inspiration to put this title on this discussion, the 4 faculties of the mind? And let me say this: my students they have to do a research project in one of my developmental psychology classes, and that's how I found this app Blab, because I'm allowing them to use Blab to do research, to then write on their own research thesis. But anyways, I'm interested about the 4 faculties of the mind and where that comes from.
Well, you came to the right place.
You came absolutely to the right place, because Lawrence is teaching that, and it's a very great teaching. It's still very unknown, but it has amazing effects. And Kate, who is coming in, she already has done a course, and she is beginning to teach it too.
And she smiled as you said that.
And she smiled, yeah. So, Lawrence, tell him he's only 3 minutes, certain, summary. So, and I would be lovely to connect with that.
So 4 faculties, to get straight to the point: attention, intention, memory, and imagination or emergence. All 4 are needed for any experience or any ability to interact with experience. If any one is lacking, no experience of that thing. To touch on personality disorders, it's got to be some distortion of intention, inability to manage attention, uncontrolled imaginings, or distorted memories, or memories whose force persists and distorts perception and conception, or some combination of all 4. As simple as that. So the next question would have to do with practical measures. What can be done to clarify the functioning of those 4? And put briefly, it's to get all 4 online and functioning voluntarily in the person and in good balance between them. If any one of them is deficient, all of them are impaired. If all are well balanced, you get a superior level of functioning. Superior because they're a lot online and well balanced in so few people.
Interesting. I want to tell my lights on. I just realized I'm pretty much too dark for you guys. Turn my lights on. My office states.
Okay.
Do you understand it?
Okay, he's got to go.
Okay.
No, I think he has to go.
He's got to go.
So I click him out.
Well, wait a minute. No, I turned on some lights.
Oh, no, he's here. He's still here. Okay.
All right.
That's it?
I do advisement in the office, so counseling, whichever people call it. So I keep the lights down for that reason. But I'm right now in my office in the college. I have an office in Atlanta, Georgia, and one in Macon. We have a group of psychologists, psychiatrists, mental professionals. Anyways, this is fascinating to me because you know what? I'm always looking at the holistic aspect of things, and in modern psychology, the way we're trending is towards more of strictly scientific, approaches and so forth. Um, my mentor, Dr. Zimbardo from Stanford University, he was my mentor and my advisor for my dissertation at Stanford. And we always had an issue with this because I'm trying to trend away from just analytical thinking into bringing more holistic, more comprehensive, balanced mind. So that's why it caught my attention. Your title. I will definitely follow you guys, and then check with you again. Let's see. It's 3:53 in Georgia, and I have a lecture at 4 o'clock. So I have to run.
You better walk to your class.
But thank you so much. I appreciate you doing this. This is very good. Thank you.
Okay, nice to see you.
All right, Dr. Will.
Bene.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
All right.
And Kate, you are only audio now. We saw you before.
We like to see you.
Yes, I want to give her some props.
Yes. Boom, 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 boom.
Can you hear me?
Oh, we almost heard you.
Yeah,
Almost.
I cannot find
Okay.
my earphones.
Oh, no problem. There's no echo with you.
No,
Okay, so you can hear me.
don't worry about it.
I just shortly want to
Yeah.
say a few things. Again, I'm completely amazed because Lawrence, when you started talking about the origin of how you came out with these 4 faculties, I was just thinking, is this guy are we related, or how is that possible that you can have so many parallels in your life? My husband taught at the business school. It was his big subject. But finally he left university because, the way it developed at universities, it became a factory. I mean, not wisdom factory. Unfortunately, not wisdom factory. So
We're not that kind of wisdom
I studied
factory.
psychology, and I think that it caused almost a depression with me studying psychology, because it was so cold, focused on disease, and people were looked at as like kind of organic machines, like organic robots. And then you have to open the brain and anyway, you can imagine. And the other thing is, when you said the 4 faculties, that they have to be balanced, that's exactly what is happening to me since I started doing the Gold Key release. The whole thing, I cannot describe it because every process is very personal. But the creative part of me is coming out, and I am composing music. And the way I compose music is absolutely unbelievable, because I had a blog about composing music, because I come from the same background as Heidi. And composing music, it's a serious matter. It's very brainy thing. I mean, yeah, anyway. But I started composing music as a little child that likes doodling. So all my compositions come out of doodling, as you do with when you paint. So I doodle with sound, and I doodle with my voice, and I doodle, sorry, and all the barriers of being creative just fell off me. I'm not saying I'm saying that I'm making music like a sculptor is making a sculpture, or a painter is doing painting, or a builder is building a house. I have a basic structure that comes out spontaneously, and then I start layering, working deeper, almost like doing a door. And I never, ever thought that you can do it. But the Gold Key release gave me the permission to do it. Because I was taught that these genius musicians, these composers, they have some kind of magic power, and they have an antenna here. This is the finger, and they start writing music to the notes. Me being dyslexic, and having a lot of other funny but wonderful issues, I couldn't do it. But I wanted to express myself, and the Gold Key released me from this stupid approach to being creative in music. And I just, as you said, I don't have the issue, and I don't even know why I had the issue. I can't understand why I couldn't see and do these things before, because it's so simple for me now. I'm not saying that I'm Beethoven. Please, Heidi. I'm not Beethoven. I'm just me making my music. That's it. And I'm so happy. I'll tell you something. The joy of making music is so overpowering that I have to say I'm doing it for 1 hour or 2 hours, because I cannot take the level of enjoyment and joy, because it's so overwhelming to me. It's in every cell in my body. I feel so good, so uplifted. So I have to say, okay, I have to do something boring. Because I'm not used to it. I'm not used to have so much fun. So, and that is the Gold Key release effect on my creative block that I had in music. So what can I say? I don't have words. Please, I will supply you with my music. And the funny thing is that I did Gold Key release on not bothering about what people think about the outcome and what I think about the outcome. I want to improve. Of course, I want to become better and better, but it's a long-term goal. I don't want anybody to take my enjoyment out of it. So if you don't like it, fine. I don't force you to like my apples, my experiences. I don't care. In one way, this is funny. This is the first time. I don't care. Can you explain this to me?
Yeah. Art is not created by
this
committee.
Is a release. This is not what?
Created by committee.
I said
Repeat,
art is
Lawrence.
not created by committee. The person has their own
Means?
gift given to them from mystery, and they capture it in the form of tangible art. They capture the gift that is creative inspiration given to them. The artist is a recipient of the creation who captures it and makes it available to everyone else. Make sense?
That's it. It not only makes sense. Again, 100% agree with you. And I gave myself permission to be the channel.
That's it.
And it's like, you see, I'm going to be 50 next year. And it's wonderful that I finally found who I am and find my life, regardless of what is going to be out of it. But I have top musicians working with me, so I know that I can learn from them the craft. But the creativity as a process is something that is only between me and the mystery. You see?
Yeah.
And that is the main point. That what gives me this sense, I feel I am alive. I feel I am alive. I live. I am living my life. And of course, I'm doing helping my husband with a business, e-commerce business. So I have to make money and earn living with something which is complementary to my music. So I'm not making compartments in between these two. So I'm using a lot of creativity in the business as well, because I have to do a lot of photography, for example. I have to take photos of products. I have to write interesting pieces of text to sell the products. And I don't have a problem with that. I'm saying, you know, before I was a little bit business or art. You have to be purist, black or white. Now I see it's wonderful to be able to sell things to people. I have a great communication with them and feeling that they are satisfied. I don't have an issue with that.
So Lawrence, what would you say? She has done the work on the 4 faculties of the mind. What is causing that? How would you explain it to the people who are listening?
People, as I've said earlier, get, let's call it, captured by their memories of experience, and their imagination is held close to what they remember. This is how people survive. They learn, and they don't go too far away from what they learned. And by so doing, they slow the inflow of creative impulses into themselves because memory is in the way. Their intentions are also captured by memory, and so their intention to go into creative directions gets dampened, gets flattened and held down. When you do gold key release and you dissolve the grip of memory, you still have the memories, but you're not in its grip, in their grip anymore.
Exactly. They are not holding you.
Your attention is now freer to not.
Excuse me, I have muted you. When you want to speak, Kate, tell me. Or you can unmute yourself probably, because it's a little bit of echo when he speaks, okay?
Okay. So we free up intention, we free up attention by doing gold key release or similar processes, and we then are open to the natural flow that is always occurring. It's always occurring. It's just held out by our grip on memory and our confining intentions. But if we loosen those, the creative flow comes in. So it's a receipt. It's something received as a gift from mystery, which is all that is. And it's given to us in ways that we are particularly suited for by our own constitution. Which, by the way, is memory also. But it's generally long-term, solid, deeper memory than most people have access to. Okay? But as we loosen the limitations, the natural flow comes in and we become prolific. It's the natural state, not a product of effort. The effort occurs in capturing what's been given to us in disciplined forms, whether it's making notations on music paper, or creating a sculpture, or designing a new product. They're all creative inflow according to our present constitution, our present makeup. Open the way, it comes in.
It's true.
Okay. I have opened the microphone. Do you want to say something, Kate?
No, I just, I am amazed of the description that it's so precise. That's how I feel it. And with that comes also the feeling of being humble, because you feel that it's actually not you, it's through you. And in one way, it also frees you from the judgment of other people, because if you don't involve your ego, if somebody criticizes it, you just think, okay, that's there, and you will be able to listen to constructive critique, because the constructive critique is more about how better you can how better you can express what you are receiving. You see, but as I told my husband once, you cannot help me to improve this song, this text. I don't want you to change one letter, because that's how I received it, and I don't want you to mess it up, because your perfection is not what was said to me. Because he's a perfectionist. Bill is perfectionist. He said, oh, I'll improve it. And I said, please don't improve it. And I am very happy that I defended that song, because that was the song, the White Deer I sent you. And it's going to be set with classical guitar and cello. So when the core is the mystery, it's the beauty, and the craft is something that you learn as an artist. But you will probably agree with me, all of you, I guess, that some artists are losing the communication with the content, with the unique piece of experience, or because they are so focused on the craft, only technique. I wrote about it in the singing book. You can see it with instrumentalists, that they want to play faster and faster. I do the classical guitar now, so they want to play faster and faster and faster and faster, because their colleagues or some virtuosos, they put the benchmark. Oh, I will play faster and faster. They forget about that. The original idea of playing the guitar was about expressing themselves through the guitar. They forget about it, and they want to play faster and faster.
This would come into our ideas now of the levels of development. This faster and faster, this would be the orange level, no? To be effective and ever better and better and better and better, but only on the outside, on the outside part of our lives, only in the mechanical, technical, exterior part, and not in the interior part.
At the same time, I want to be balanced in the faculties, and I want to improve the craft, because I understand it's important. It's your tools. So I want to improve understanding of music, and I don't want that anymore in my life to hinder what is trying to come through me. So this is the gold key release. And again, I repeat something that I wrote to Lawrence a month ago, I think 2 months ago, that I made in Photoshop 10 years ago, I made an interesting image. I was supposed to present myself somewhere, asking for an artistic job or something like that. And the image I made was me. I had keyholes here in my brain, which I wouldn't use probably today. And they were golden keys. I'm not joking. And I really have that image somewhere, probably in the garage in Prague. So I might still come across that, because if Lawrence sees that image, it's just, you are just going to say, are you crazy?
I think you're crazy.
I don't believe in any coincidence in life, but this is too much. No, I had about 7. Crazy.
7 chakra keys.
All right. Okay, one for each chakra then. Rather
So
than
we should
no.
third eye.
tell who is.
But by the way, I'm very sorry. I have to leave your Blab because a musician phoned me and I need to discuss a project with him that was born because I got released by the gold key release. This is the problem. I cannot study. I have a problem to do the process and to become a teacher of it because my life has changed so much, and so many wonderful things are happening that I don't I don't want to sleep even because I have so much fun.
Okay,
that's
Kate.
very
wonderful.
much.
It was
Yeah.
wonderful that you're here.
Thank you. And
What a testimonial.
sorry, but I think that you are going to be supplied by my music once I believe that it's ready to go out and to be shown to, not to the public, but to good friends. So you will be exposed.
Looking forward to it.
Yes,
You will be
we'll wait.
punished.
Then we
Okay.
do.
Oh, we will suffer. Oh,
No, please punish us. Punish us.
I see.
And as the complete
Okay.
full stop to this wonderful Blab is, I started dancing, clapping, and playing and singing flamenco.
Mhm.
Flamenco. The fire is here.
Lorenz, what did you do with her?
I don't know.
With your
Linda
golden key.
showed her some internal keys in herself.
Yeah.
Okay, have a nice evening and weekend, and I hope
Have
to
a
see
nice
you
night.
again. Bye.
Bye.
Really nice to hear from you, Kate.
And I see
Bye-bye.
you all. Bye. I don't know how to get out.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, I can kick you out. Okay.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. You are out. You are gone. I think we should, to the people who are watching now live or in replay, tell a little bit about the gold key release, which Kate so often named.
Yes, which she
Maybe
gave
with
such
some
great
words,
testimonial for.
Lawrence, you can.
Well, in
Explain.
discussing creativity, I already have outlined a lot about the gold key release. I could talk about how it works, but I kind of don't want to get real technical and have people
No.
feel overwhelmed by too much mental noise. Let's just keep it this way. It's a
No.
self-liberation procedure. That means that you free yourself of places, people, and things that feel like they're burdening you. That's a way of looking at it. And it's done through getting back awareness of your own memories. No, I have to say that differently, because that implies a kind of approach.
This is
One
not psychotherapy.
It's a direct
No.
It's not.
awakening of your ability to put attention onto things, to reconnect or reawaken to what your intention is about them, to free yourself from the grip of memories that keep you limited, and to open your imagination or your ability to grow. How it does that really is the topic for a lengthier discussion, which we have had and recorded. So I want to be really concise about it. Let's just say that there are ways in which we limit ourselves without knowing it that can be discovered by us and changed at will by reconnecting or reawakening 4 basic faculties that exist in us, which we've touched upon in this Blab already: attention, intention, memory, and imagination. Everything else is the technical, how do you do it? What are the steps and so forth? And there's a course for that.
Yeah. And people who are interested, you can go to the YouTube channel, The Wisdom Factory, and there you find some of the recordings, or also to Lawrence Gold's YouTube channel. He has much material about that, but more, I think, on our channel. I don't know, because we did several shows with you. I don't know. Anyway.
There's a lot of stuff out there.
Go and get informed. There is a lot of stuff there. Yeah. Yeah, wonderful.
All right.
The 4 faculties of the mind. And I think we have sort of reached our...
And our dog's limit, too.
Yeah, our dog wants to be attended to. It's about 2 hours and a half that we are talking. First on Google and now here. So I think for today... Tune in, look what we are doing. It's always under my name, Adelheid Hörnlein, and we will do more of these.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye to you, Lawrence, too.
All right.
Have a nice day, rest day.
Prosper. I'm trying to prosper here. It's a problem.
Okay.
Bye, all.